I did have an intro for tonight's game, but since the Twitter account already stole it, thanks Anthony, I'll stick to the usual one. It's Saturday night, it's 25 past 6, and it's hockey night in the hangar as the TSI World Berkshire Bees welcome the Leeds Knights to town for the second visit here in Slough this year. The Leeds Knights have been here, of course, once already. It was a big night for the Bees, a first win over the Knights in just over 3 years, dating back to a playoff game when neither team really wanted to play and played rush goalie for 60 minutes in an 8-6 win. The Knights will be back looking for revenge as they try to close the gap at the top of the league to the Milton Keynes Lightning. The Bees just looking to end a slide. I'm joined tonight, thanks to the Stratton v Cardiff and South 1 game being called off, by Chris Beale. That two-way finally coming in handy.
Yep, the development pathway is really paying off here in Slough for the Bees. Of course, that also means that, sorry Joe, I'm going to jump in ahead and announce a couple of players. It does mean also that Roman Cathcart and Preston Toombs have joined me on the trip up here to Slough as well.
Wait, you mean the Bees don't have 11 players this week? Oh my.
Sorry, I've buried the lead there, haven't I?
And I've ruined the tweets. Well, here you go, producer Nick couldn't wait. We're jumping the gun as well. The Berkshire Bees line up tonight. 5, Ollie Nags. 9, Vanya Antonov. 15, Ty Cathcart. 16, Adam Erskine. 18, Preston Toombs. 19, Will Stead. 21, Marcel Ballas. 23, Dominic Gabai. 24, Dan Rose. Also welcome back, 27, Josh Smith. 71, Josh Kelly. 74, Liam Morris. 75, Roman Cathcart. 91, Ollie Hemmings-Mayer. 93, Josh Paul. 94, Stuart Mogg. Netminders 42, Max Wright, 45, Dean Skins, and as I say, your eyes do not deceive you, 16 plus 2. It's almost as if all the two-ways were available. Chris, The Bees, like I said, they've been on demand for a few weeks now just because of the way the schedule has worked out through the month of November and December. But they've really dug in. They picked up the win over the Wildcats here. They should have beat the Lightning and the Steel Dogs here in the last 2 weeks. Leeds can't come into the building expecting a rollover. This Bees team is digging in hard, and they're finally getting production out with the big names. Ballas and Gabai combining for 17 points last weekend against the Dogs and the Seahawks. Yeah,
I mean, the Bees have had an interesting track record this year. They seem to really dig in and almost. I think the way I've heard it described once was teams playing down to their opponents. The Bees seem to play up to their opponents when it's big games against teams like the Leeds Knights and against saw earlier this season as well. They, giving the MK Lightning a run for their money as well. So I would not expect an easy game for the Knights coming into this game, especially now the Bees have got those healthy bodies back. They're going to look to push on from that shootout win last weekend.
Since Nick jumped the gun, here's the National League table. We'll get back on track. The Milton Keynes Lightning currently sit top of the league on 35 points. They have played a game more than the Leeds Knights. The Lightning at home to the Bristol Pitbulls tonight, so personally I can't see that gap closing tonight. They obviously lost the first leg of the Cup semi-final to the Romford Raiders on Wednesday night, going down 5-4. The top of the National League obviously still pretty tight, apart from Milton Keynes and Leeds, where there was a tiny gap, but everyone down from Sheffield to Hull split by the same gap. The Bees, they're starting to get left adrift, 13 points in 24 games. The table does lie a little bit. The Bees have been somewhat better, but they have struggled by putting the puck in the net, as they currently still sit on 61 goals, 16 behind the next closest team. The goals against tally obviously really rising up in the last few weeks as well, mainly just because everyone was knackered last week. The games elsewhere in the league, because I almost jumped the gun there, so Nick's going to have to go at me in a bit. Elsewhere tonight, as the Leeds Knights have taken to the ice behind us, the Hull Seahawks are currently 2-1 up against the Romford Raiders at the end of the first period. The Swindon Wildcats take on the Solway Sharks. The Leeds Knights don't play the Bristol Pitbulls. Oh. Nicholas, that's the Milton Keynes Lightning playing Bristol. How can Leeds be at home and away to us at the same time?
Maybe it's the NIHL 1 Knights.
Oh. And Peterborough Phantoms at home to Telford. See, I'm going to get clobbered in a minute. I'm going to stay away. I'm not going to look at him when he's going to shout at me. So Lightning at home to the Pitbulls. There we go. Editing on the fly. And the Phantoms at home to the Tigers. We'll bring you updates on that through the night as Nick just shakes his head at me.
Please don't hurt us, Nick.
Not yet, anyway. The Leeds Knights team this evening are visitors, of course, looking for a modicum of payback from their first visit this year. They line up as follows. 3. Oh. Don't call. No, Sheffield! I was about to say, don't call them Sheffield.
Tonight, the part of the Leeds Knights will be played by the Sheffield Steel Dogs.
Well, let's hope not. The Leeds Knights line up as well. Nick's gone as well here. They are 3 Bailey Berry, 6 Ethan Hare, 8 Bo Neely, 9 Jordan Blazer, 11 Matt Hayward, 12 Kieran Brown, 14 Lewis Baldwin, 18 Christianus Regalis, 19 Innes Gallagher, 24 Dylan Hare, 33 Finn Braden, 37 Matt Barron, 41 Ollie Endicott, 44 Jordan Griffin, 54 Noah McMullen, 73 Matt Bissonette, 95 Matt Cowlett, netminders 31 Sam Gospel, 32 Harrison Walker. Chris, they are the gold standard in the National League. They have proven themselves to be human this year. The saying, obviously, from Iron Man was, if you can make God bleed, the Sharks will come. The Bees were the first team to beat the Knights this year, and they've lost 4 since in regulation. They're still a very good team, and things are starting to click in the right direction, especially with young players like Finley Brayton.
Yeah, I mean, they are really kicking on. They've been the force in the National League for basically since its inception almost. You know, they are just relentless. They can score from anywhere on the rink in the offensive zone, and of course they've got one of the best netminders at this level in net in Sam Gospel. Yes,
and of course should be an elite league netminder in a perfect world. Yeah. We will bring you the officials in a short while following the national anthem. We'll be back with you with that and puck drop for period number 1 in about 2 minutes' time.
Before we start today's game, if you can please ask the Bees, Liam Morris, and the captain from the Leeds Knights to step forwards as we do a ceremonial puck drop with Dean Hockley, and it's her birthday today. Thank you, and a very happy birthday to you as well. Hope you enjoyed your party. Ladies and gentlemen, please stand if you're able to for the playing of the national anthem.
See, Nick, you say to me, you're checking the headphones, I can carry on, but I was about to say your officials for the evening. In the Water Wings of Power, Mr. Adam Bicknell and Mr. William Yarlsmark, assisted by linesman Mr. Adam Carrington, and the best sideburns in British hockey, Mr. Kenny George. Your starting netminders for both teams. For the home side, no surprise there, it's Max Wright. In 22 games played, he has a 5-14-3 record, a 903 save percentage, 4.10 goals against average. Obviously, that's taken a bit of a jump in the last couple of weeks in 1,333 minutes. Yes, ignore that, Chris, I forgot to change it. At the other end, for the Leeds Knights, in goal, it's Sam Gospel. In 19 starts this season, he is 13-5-1, a 905 save percentage, 2.84 goals against average, and last week won his 100th game for the Leeds Knights in the regular season because he's just that good, 124 record. Chris, we talked about offense, we talked about a bit of the defense. We can't carry on without mentioning, statistically, the 2 best netminders in the league in terms of save percentage in time.
Yep, and tonight, one of those netminders is potentially going to see that go down a little bit.
Well, I think last time they were here, both of them had like 960 save percentages.
It was a goaltending duel the last time they were here, really, wasn't it?
Well, we're going to look forward to another one tonight. Sorry, it's all been a bit of a rush. As you can imagine, the weather outside is terrible, and it took us a bit of a while to get in tonight.
Yeah, and unfortunately, because of the slightly last-minute nature of Joe's invite to me getting here, I've not really had much time to do any prep like I would normally do.
Spoilers, neither have I. As Adam Bicknell gets
we're just winging it this evening.
Adam Bicknell gets us underway with period number 1. Mott gets the red line, throws it into the Knights zone. Collected on the far side by Endicott, coming together between Goodbye and Knights forward. Knights will bring it away. Gains the blue line, thrown in as well, right out of his net to play
Oh,
it.
dear.
That's interesting, and that's 1-0. That is the easiest goal Finley Braden is going to get all year. Max Wright, I've been saying for weeks that something like this has been coming, and there it is, 24 seconds gone. The Leeds Knights lead with Finn Braden's 13th of the season.
We appear to have 2 pucks in the net, not just one here. But yeah, Wright comes out, tries to play the puck. Unfortunately, doesn't really get a clean. He tries to play it with the stick, but ends up trying to kick it. Doesn't really get it clear enough, and yeah, Finley Braden is on the doorstep to poke it home.
See, after all of that, and you know, these net miners are brilliant. Thanks, Max.
Yeah. Sorry, Max, our bad.
Yeah, love you really. That's commentator's
Commentator's curse
at its finest.
What else will go wrong for the Match Night Live crew this evening?
Let's find out, shall we? Knights in the corner with it. Hayward tries to spin away from Morris, gets dispossessed by the combination of Morris and Balaz. Somehow that's been given to Ollie Endicott, I believe.
Okay.
Yeah, we've had a few of those in the last couple of weeks.
Oh, as long as it's not a cross-checking penalty or a high-sticking penalty given against, you know.
I got in enough trouble for that the week after. Offside called at the blue line, just over a minute gone. Both teams get changes in. Bees with definitely changing the lines up for the last 2 weeks. Obviously, when they've only had 6 forwards, they're a bit confused now that they've got an actual choice. Boycer.
I think it is the thing that sometimes happens is teams, obviously, especially when they've been short the way the Bees have recently, they get settled into the reworked lines, and then the healthy bodies come back, and then it kind of just throws everything a little bit out of sync for them, because now obviously you've got different line mates again.
Boycer dispossessing Stead there, firing on goal. Yeah, Hemmings, Mayer, Stead and Gabai for the Bees on this unit. Balaz, Antonov and Josh Paul was the top line. This one, the triple B line. Boycer, Barron and Brown, as Brown goes to net and tries to tip one through Wright's 5-hole. Doesn't on that occasion, but you know the game plan there. Gabai into Mock. Hemmings, Mayer. Bees able to clear the blue line, Mogg able to finish the job before Dylan Hare can get over. Josh Smith back on the ice for the first time in 3 months, injured in the 5th game of the season, which has been a big loss for the Bees. Hallam Wilson also injured in that same game against the Lightning back in September, hopefully back soon, along with Adam Rossbottom and Marcus Mitchell still on the injury list for the Bees.
Definitely been a physical presence that the Bees have missed. And I mean, we've seen at the start of this game already the hits being thrown a little bit as the Knights will now charge up the ice. Brown here.
Braden again, and it's gone through. This time it is Ollie Endicott. He cleans up the rebound off the Braden shot, and Endicott makes it 2-0 at 2:19.
I think in both cases, unfortunately, they're goals that Wright would really want to have back. They're just little bounces that have gone the wrong way.
We said it was going to be a quick start. The Knights won't want to repeat of the last game here. 2-0 in 2 minutes with an aggressive forecheck and just fast forward play from the Yorkshire side.
It's one of the things they hit. They have this very, very unique combination of they have sizable players with lots of size, but they also have players with a lot of speed to them, and they smash and grab you with it.
We look at the forecheck again, turnover at the blue line, shot on goal, Wright unable to glove that one down. Braden, the first person on Ollie Hemmings-Mayer, dispossesses him. Again, swarmed on the Bees by the Knights. Back to the blue line, shot tipped in front, deflected away by Morris. Stead turns, fires, glove down by Gabai at the blue line. He'll skate in on his own, tries to dangle around one, will draw a penalty on that one. And the Knights will go on the penalty kill. 2 minutes for hooking, 2:52. And we'll see who it is in the box. 44. That is Jordan Griffin heading to the box. 2 for hooking, 2:52.
I mean, Griffin's really got to make that play there because Gabai, not totally in on net, but definitely could have got a shot away there that might have snuck through.
Now the Bees power play this year, 21 goals on the season, 19.63 success rate, 6 of those coming off the stick of Marcel Ballas 4 off Liam Morris and 4 from Will Stead. Very much the man that will park themselves in front of the net of Sam Gospel. The Knights on a penalty kill have given up 16 on the year and 82.61 success rates. They will try and clear around the boards. Bissonette, first time I've had to say that name all night, as it's cleared on the net of Max Wright. He'll leave it for goodbye. Ballas ahead to Anslop. He'll get the blue line. Pushed into the corner, or more escorted into the corner by the Knights penalty killers, and cleared. Goodbye, looks for a pass, throws it through centre ice, and that will be icing. Missed time on the pass up to Liam Morris as he cut left to right through the neutral zone.
I think he was looking for Morris moving left to right, just mistimed it a little bit, but Bees have got to get a little bit of urgency here going with this power play. It's the same thing I've noticed every single time I've ever watched the Bees game this year. The power play, they just don't move the puck around at speed.
It's weird, they got a lot better at that in the Lightning game. Went 3-3 a couple of weeks ago, but last week, the 5-minute major on Ripley, they didn't get a single shot away. Mainly because they just got stuck doing this. Ballas drops it off for Morris. Thrown up to the right-hand side. Stead tips it on, but loses possession. Big hit delivered behind the play, and that is going to warrant Kieran Brown jumping in on Will Stead. And Kieran Brown throwing fists and not letting Will Stead get up. 4 minutes exactly. There's a penalty on Will Stead coming here, which is for the original hit.
Yep.
Kieran Brown is going to sit 5. Will Stead is going to get 5 plus something.
I would assume.
And
5 for fighting, 2 for boarding.
This could get evened up, you know.
Maybe. Oh, actually, is that? Does he sweep his leg? It's a bit difficult to tell.
It's definitely difficult to tell. I mean, we don't. Apparently, our camera isn't good enough for calls.
He rides him into the board.
It's definitely a penalty. Whether it's 5, I don't know, because I don't know what referees say at the moment. Brown obviously goes into the fight. Stead would have if he were allowed to get his gloves off.
Yeah.
Which is also a penalty as well, which is why I can see it could be evened up. It shouldn't be, but it could be.
Yes, because Stead's inability to get his gloves off or even get a shot away does raise the unwilling combatant question. Although Will Stead is not really somebody I would class as an unwilling combatant in fights.
Well, Stead is still stood by the Bees bench, and there is someone is in the box.
I mean,
I thought it was Will Stead.
I will point out we did have a strange incident, something similar to this a few weeks ago in a Streatham game where Aidan Doughty delivers a questionable hit along the boards. A player from Invicta charges in to get at Doughty. Doughty didn't want the fight, kind of covered up, and didn't even get one punch away. And the result of that was the Invicta player got a 5-minute penalty for fighting. And put Streatham on a power play, and there was no penalty given to Aidan Doughty for being involved in the fight.
Well, we'll wait for the call.
Yeah.
Nick does have the freeze frame with it. Nick, obviously, off camera, you wonder, it's definitely Will Stead. We're not going mad, are we? I think it's who in the box?
Oh, it might be Mo in the box.
Mo, it might be Liam Morris. I thought it was Will. In which case, Liam Morris is definitely not an unwilling command. Kieran Brown does have 2 on the clock here. So Kieran Brown has definitely got 2 minutes, which I'm going to guess is the whole thing of maybe instigator or unwilling combatant. Like I said, I don't necessarily agree with it, but it is something you do see called a lot nowadays.
Yeah.
And here we go. Kieran Brown. So Kieran Brown has received 2 minutes for being an aggressor in a fight and 2 minutes for instigating a fight, and yet has not been given a fighting major. And Liam Morris 2 minutes for boarding. So somehow, out of all of that, the Bees have ended up 5 on 3.
Also, we should clarify, we don't know the difference between Will Stead and Morris.
Yeah, no, as Annika has just pointed out as well, instigator and aggressor, technically the same thing. I was doing so well in saying referees were doing well last month. I bring Chris back for one night and it falls apart again.
Don't blame the guest co-con.
They've been fine until you came back. It's 5-on-3 for 53 seconds.
I mean,
Answers on a postcard or a tweet, please. I don't know if he's here or not. Jim Piper, if you're watching, Tambo, let us know. Because I'm as confused as you probably are. He's on a 5-on-3. Cycled round. Goodbye. Down low. Ballas tries to throw it through the crease. Good work. Back to Goodbye. That's off the pipe. Bounces in front of Gospel. Knight's clear.
He's moving it there with lots. I mean, obviously the 5-on-3 gives them a lot more space to work with, but they were moving it with a lot more speed and freedom there.
Knight's just able to clear it past the blue line. Mog is there. 15 seconds before Griffin rejoins the game. Ballas, Antonov tries to drop it off again. Behind the Mog, but he's able to battle back and get the puck down low. Net front battle as well as the Knights return to 4 skaters. Round to Goodbye. Looks for an option, goes back to Mog at the blue line. Good puck movement again. Ballas has to stop. Morris. Not to the stick of Goodbye. This net front battle between Wilstead. I can't see the Knights D-man is.
Definitely is Stead this time.
It definitely is Stead. 44 seconds left on one of Kieran Brown's penalties, which I still can't believe the Bees have ended up on a power play.
Words escape me.
Yeah, Goodbye tries to go for the wraparound. Knights will bow for the puck.
I think
trying to heal time with Matt Hayward here against the boards. At 25 seconds, Hayward dispossessed. Big hit delivered on Stead there. Stead retaliates. The Knights bench wants a penalty. And the front bounce off the doors. It's still all going on. Ballas has a shot on goal. That one saved by Gospel. Another hit from Stead on this time on McMullen. Why is it whenever a game falls apart, it's always you with co-coms with me?
It's the Streatham effect, I think.
And the Knights return to 5 skaters. There's a shot on goal on Gospel is saved. Right, can we calm down a bit, please, everybody?
I'm absolutely shocked that wasn't called, considering the ref was looking right at both incidents.
From McMullen on Stead. I mean, that hit doesn't happen if the 2 before it were called. Right, breathe, everybody. Bees win the draw. Hemmings-Mayer held against the boards by Gallagher. Gets hauled down. The Bees bench wants a penalty this time.
I don't think so on that one.
I think it was more a case of timing than anything. The Knights will rush up ice. Cut in. The shot across goal blocked by Josh Kelly. Cleared by Smith.
Great awareness and redirection there by Kelly.
Rose able to beat Finley Braden to the puck. Braden just able to lean into the Bees centre. Dispossess him. Hemmings-Mayer tries to get it away from Baldwin. Hare against the boards, tries to bring it through centre. Throws it into the corner. Knights will go for a change. One-man forecheck by Innes Gallagher. Beaten by Kelly. Antonov cuts inside Bissonette. Antonov on his own. Escorted wide by Perry. Shot on goal. Saved by Gospel. He'll cover up. Bailey Perry, obviously, I didn't do many notes on him this week because I thought he'd be playing for the NIHL 1 Knights as they have the home game tonight. So apologies for that one if you're watching, Mr. Perry. I genuinely thought he'd be with the North 1 team.
Well, he's looked good so far.
He's been good the last 2 years as well, as have most of the kids that the Knights have brought through. Face off, won by the Bees. Shot, final goal by Antonov. Morris throws it in behind net as he's back on the ice. Cleared by the Knights. I'm going to say an unintentional block pass by Kelly there as he stops Howlett from rushing in. Cleared up to the blue line. Cycled round. Bissonette tries to throw it in front. Blocked by Kelly. Has another go. This time blocked by Ballas. Third time's the charm. Almost gets through to Matt Hayward, but sticks in the lane. Prevent that one.
I mean, it looks unintentional, but I mean, it's been good positioning there for on two rushes now by Kelly. He's been in the right place at the right time to get the puck clear and stop the offensive drive.
Icing called. 7.5 minutes gone here in period number 1. face off, left of right. Won by Balaz. Push around, and then the Bees D-men pinched forward, so no one was back there. Almost let Matt Barron in. Balaz dispossesses Neely, flicked up ice. Glove down at the blue line by Dylan Hare. Thrown cross zone, finds Barron. Endicott. Down low, Barron again. Thrown towards goal, deflected by Kelly, almost to the stick of Endicott. Dive to try and get it back to the blue line. Doesn't work on that time, but they might still end up with the puck anyway. Barron can't get control of it on that occasion. Barron trying to be escorted out the club, and is by the combination of Paul and Balaz. Endicott has to go back, and that allows the Bees to get a full change in. Morris away from Endicott, long stretch pass, tips ahead at the blue line by Stepp. Foot race, won by Ansonov, tries to find goodbye, picked off by a Knights demon. They'll come the other way, 2-on-2. Lovely mitts on goal from Finley Braden again. Ty Cathcart standing strong on that occasion.
That was a great example there of the two game. Oh, there's a bit more shenanigans off the play there.
They are really going for Wilstead, and the penalty has been called, sending both of them to the box. I think this is the living embodiment of, right, both of you sit down and have a breather.
Are we sure, considering how much Will Stead is coming in for here at the moment from the Knights bench, like, are we sure it wasn't actually Stead and Morris has just been...
I thought it was Stead. 8:50 time of the penalties. Innes Gallagher sitting two for something.
It's either that or the Knights players are all confusing Liam Morris with Will Stead.
Much like us. See? Easily done, everyone. Will Stead 2 for something. Innes Gallagher 2 for something. We'll get those calls to you shortly. Penalties down to 8:50.
I was going to say, though, we saw a wonderful example of the way the Bees are trying to attack this game at the moment with that one-man rush, trying to get the forward, or going either up the centre or out by the wing, and then obviously the Knights with those forced turnover and just charging forward at speed, trying to force their way up the middle.
So we'll stay 5-on-5 thanks to coincidental minors. Henry's Mayor tries to clear. Glove down at the blue line again. Thrown back in the zone. Cathcart gets there first ahead of Braden. Kept in the blue line once more. Endicott. Back to the blue line. Thrown towards goal. Off the glove of right and wide. Both received 2 minutes from sportsmanlike conduct. Like we said, the living embodiment of both of you, sit down, calm down. Knights over the blue line again. That one's turned over multiple times and finally cleared. Fagalis throws it into the zone. Knights have to back check.
Bees are doing a good job of generating these turnovers either at or just after the blue line, but they really need to find a way to convert them into offensive rushes at the moment.
Tipped up ice by Balaz. Gospel plays the puck, washes out any icing call. Turned over behind again. Antonov finds Balaz. Balaz in on goal. Somehow it's missed. Nick kept the replay. We'll find out what happened there in a minute. Bissonette at the blue line. Stops, leaves it for the on-rushing Howlett. Mac Howlett in on goal. Saved by Wright. Howlett again. Back to the blue line. Little pocket of space. Shot on goal. Save Wright again. Kelly able to clear, not kept in the blue line this time by Griffin, but he's able to keep it under control. Bissonette. Throwing up ice to Howlett. Turned over again, back to Howlett at the blue line. He's able to clear, Leeds deemed to be offside. Thrown it to Ansonov on the right-hand side. Tries to get past McMullen. Little grab there by Ansonov, trying to stop the Canadian D-man getting back at him. End-to-end rushes at the moment as the Knights throw it on ahead. Mogg clears the zone. Stretch pass up at the blue line, finds Howlett again. Shot from a tight angle, saved by Wright. Did get beat there last week by Walker Sommer, so maybe the Knights have been watching the videotape on that one. Thrown to Roman Cathcart. Cathcart takes the hit from Neely or Ethan Hare even in the corner. It's a 6, not an 8 from over here. Knights again the other way. Lovely little toe trying to get around Mogg. Thrown towards goal. Wright with a save. Rebound loose. 3-0. Jordan Boycer. Max Wright frustrated with himself. The original shot comes in from Matt Barron. Wright makes the first save. Boycer, empty cage, backdoor, 3-0, 11:37.
And the Knights here do what they do best. Speed down the wing, the shot comes in. Wright makes the initial save, and then they just clear up the garbage in front of the net.
Timeout called by the Berkshire Bees as well. Well, we got the timeout.
Can we see the replay on that?
Nick, can we see the replay? Was it bad? You've got to try and remember which one now. the one that we missed, the Bees missed.
The almost goal that wasn't
almost
a
goal that wasn't a goal. That probably should have been a goal. Here we go.
Here we go. Puck comes around, shot comes in. Oh, he just miscues.
And it's a brilliant job, whoever that is. We'll try and see on the back there.
That's Marcel Ballas in front.
No, it might be. I was more thinking Fagalis. Just doing enough to hold up the Slovak to not let him get a clean shot away on goal.
Yeah. He does a brilliant job there, putting himself between the puck and the post, and basically doesn't really give Ballas too much room to work with to try and get that shot or get a second opportunity at it.
Ties his man up. Boycer from Brown and Barron. The Triple B line strikes for the first time tonight. Jordan Boycer, only his third goal of the season for the Knights. Kieran Brown rapidly onto 39 points. Yes, there's still time for a fourth 100-point season back to back to back to back. Puck cleared up to Hemmingsmayer. He'll clear the zone. That one will be icing. Go all the way back. Also, just so I don't leave him out, Matt Barron also is all on 37 points now. 19 goals, 18 assists.
Brought to you by NIHL stats.
Actually, no, brought to you by NHL National, because no one from the National League reads my site anymore. It's the way it should be.
It's read by us. It's read by us down in South One.
That's because you've got no other option. Kelly thrown around the boards. Stead. Let's see if he's still making friends on this shift as he's back out. Hemmingsmayer battles his way past Bailey Perry. Drops off for Goodbye. Goodbye tries to find Stead. He gets a stick lift. Kept in at the blue line by Toombs. Knights turning it over. Endicott gets his pocket picked by Kelly. That's cleared up to Gallagher. Gallagher skates in on Toombs, gets a shot away. Saved by Wright. Toombs does a good job of getting it away from the Scot. Smith finds Goodbye. Flips high up ice, glove down at the Knights blue line and fired into the zone. Fun bounce, Max Wright wasn't looking, neither was Ollie Nags as he came off the bench.
Luckily, Preston Toombs had it scouted and was already heading in the direction of the puck to try and get it clear.
Knights in again, here's the chance for number 4, and there it is, Mac Howlett. Not sure what's going on here, the Bees all at sea, and Mac Howlett takes advantage, skates in all on his own, fires the fourth home at 13 minutes exactly.
Failed.
Goal number 11.
Failed clearance. Howlett just skates across, cuts the angle, looks for it, fires just past the shoulder of Max Wright.
And Max Wright's night is done. Dean Skins is coming in for the Canadian. Wright doesn't agree with the decision. Him and Coach Ashley Tate currently having a strongly worded argument on the Bees bench. Dean Skins will step in for the first time in the hangar as a Berkshire Bee. He has one start this season. That was up in Leeds. Let's say about that one the better. 8 goals against average and an 8.26 save percentage up at, well, Planet Ice Leeds. I almost wanted to say Elland Road, but yeah.
I thought that's what it is.
I think it is on Elland Road, but I think I'm just so used to it being Planet Ice
Leeds,
Planet Ice Peterborough, Planet Ice MK.
I'm surprised they don't, like, considering obviously the Knight's name, they don't call it the Castle. Or...
They do, but I don't like nicknames much. I can just about use the hangar. Ballas. I just did. You can keep telling me no, Nick. It's still called the hangar. You lot can hate the Jets. I don't mind.
Now let's not stoke that fire.
Knights in the zone. Hayward tries to drop it off for Howlett, who wound up for a massive slap shot there. It's poked away. Icing called on that one. So I was praising the Bees for having some really good defensive work here over the last few weeks, and once again, I've brought Chris back, and the bringer of nothing but suffering has struck again.
I love how I'm the one being blamed for all this.
You are my little angel of death. That's all I'm going to say.
All I'm going to say, folks, is Joe is the one who sent me the text message this morning going, "You've got no home game this evening. Why don't you?"
You could have said no.
Yeah.
Just because you didn't have anything to do on a Saturday night. Big hit in
I
the
could have
corner.
enjoyed Strictly.
No, endure strictly. Knights away with it again. Can you tell we're going insane yet? Once again, barreling over the blue line. Bo Neely this time spins away from Kelly, gets dispossessed by Goodbye. We'll go back to Liam Morris. No signs of stopping from the Knights here at the moment.
Thing is, Max Wright obviously he's going to feel he's not really, because ultimately, you know, it's like what we said, when goalies get scored on, it's not just the goalie's fault. The defence has allowed that shot to go in the first place, but you've got to do something to change it up. He's already tried with this timeout to try and rearrange the tactics. He's now got to try something else with the playing staff, and really the only one he can make a change with is the netminder. Putting in a fresh netminder, it might change the team's, you know, the way the team plays a little bit, make them play a bit more solidly, you know, a bit more defensively.
Solid defence.
Yeah, sorry.
Brown forcing the first save out of Skins there, the shot between the hash marks. 5:23 remaining in period number 1. He's come away with the draw. Roman Cathcart will play a little dump and chase with himself. Thrown in on goal. Harrison Walker is in the net now for the Knights, so even they've made a goalie change. So we missed that one as well.
Yep.
Harrison Walker in net.
We're missing everything.
Well, Knights obviously feel like they can shut this one down already.
Question would be if that decision backfires on them in any way, do they then switch Gospel back in later on?
This is going to be the bit where I check my phone in period breaks and someone says, no, Walker was in from the start, you were just blind, which is a strong possibility too. The Knights into the zone. No, it is also at 13 minutes as well. It's on the NIHL national website. Right. I'm not that blind yet.
Yes, we finally got something right this evening.
Harrison Walker, he has played 3 games so far this season. He has a 3-0-0 record. He will not get the win in this, though, unless the Bees come back. Stranger things have happened. He has a 1.33 goals against average and a 9.44 save percentage. He also has a shutout this season away in Bristol.
All I will say is I once saw a team come back to win 7-6 from 6-0 down.
Me too. Knights again. Braden shot. Glove. I was about to say glove save. More like glove stop by Skins. Turned over again inside the Bees zone. Kelly gets it away from Braden. Bounce off of the advertising horn. He's in front. 5! Finley Braden gets goal number 2. That one is just straight up unfortunate. It's come off one of the advertising boards below the goal. You can see that one there, that little black one. Whoever that sponsor is, it's your fault. Simon Agar, 16:08.
Let's not blame the sponsors. No, weird bounce, as Joe says. It comes off the backboard, and then Braden is just waiting in front. And Skins does get a piece of it. He gets down, he gets it covered, but it just sneaks through on the 5-hole.
In the words of Martin Tyler, and it's 5.
Obligatory, what time is it, Joe?
No.
No.
Someone's bound to make that on the NIHL banter page tonight.
Yeah.
Can't wait for whoever puts the Leeds Knights AI pictures up. They're always awful. Mock. Not yours, I'm just saying them all in general. They're all pretty bad. Bissonette.
Anyway,
the Knights' relentless forecheck. And another penalty being called here. Interested to see who on.
I think it might be Bissonette.
I don't know. It looks like it's actually on Ty Cathcart is being called.
Yeah.
Well, it's weird because the Bees had the puck and there was no call, and then the Knights touched the puck and there is a call, and Ty Cathcart is the one in the box.
Oh no, wait! I think
no, it is.
It's Bissonette. Bissonette's going to the box as well.
Okay, so we are
more off the play shenanigans.
16:33 times of the penalties. We'll let you know. Even the bench is confused. That buzzer going off means they haven't understood what the calls were. It's 5-on-5 though. It's always good when you're called over by name. Yeah, Danny Berkshire, the match night announcer, was just called over Adam Bicknell.
Well, I mean, Adam Bicknell, former Bees player, they would know him by name.
Yep. So we'll get those penalties to you when we can. Goodbye. Tries to find Hemmings-Mayer, as it looks like there's been... No, still with some line changes. So Matt Bissonette, 2 minutes for slashing. Ty Cathcart is 2 minutes for... He's also got 2 minutes for slashing. So both record 2 minutes for slashing. Nags takes it away from Bracer. Up ice to Goodbye, who lets it roll out of the zone, goes to the bench and leaves it for Kieran Brown. Baldwin. Dumped in. Mogg goes back to collect. 2:40 to go in the first period. Braden from Endicott and Gallagher is the Knights' 5th goal. Knights will bring it out again. It's thrown up ice, stopped at the blue line by Kelly. Collected at the Knights' blue line, thrown to Ethan Hare. He fires it off of Kenny George and lets Josh Kelly clear it into the penalty box. Hockey.
Quite impressive that, considering threading the needle. Firing it through that kind of a gap. Oh, whoops, sorry, I've broken my headphones again.
No, I think you've broken ankles.
Oh, okay.
Nah, no fit. Knights come away with the puck again. No one's gone through Skins, but he's able to get back in time and cover up. Ay, ay, ay.
Gets a piece of it, it slips through him, and just enough, like he has the awareness to realise that it's not in his glove where he thought it was.
Is it bad? I'm getting vibes of that Boxing Day Romford game from this already.
I'm going to continue to be the eternal optimist and point out that there's still 40 minutes.
Still 40 minutes, but this has not been a good period.
Although I don't know whether pointing out to you that there's still 40 minutes is good for your mental health.
Hey. It's all right. Back to Josh Kelly. That one bounces over his stick and out the zone. Morris turns, fires, kept down by Parry. Cleared up ice. Antonov is the man back to collect, finds Balaz. Thrown in off the stick of Ethan Hare. Collected, moved back to Hare. He gets dispossessed by Balaz. Final 80 seconds in the first period. The Knights, again, sensing blood. Chipped up ice. Balaz tries to find Antonov. Instead finds Josh Paul. Lovely move from Josh Paul. Leaves it for Antonov. Back to Balaz. Returns the favour. Back to Morris at the blue line. That first shot is blocked in front. Well received by the Knights bench. And that pass is read like a book. Breakaway for the Knights. In on goal. Shot saved Skins. Gallagher unable to convert. Skins way out of the paint to meet him there and cut the angle down.
That's a big save made there by Skins.
Howlett, and that's another big save from Dean Skins. Poke check masterclass. Howlett down to Hayward behind the goal. Tries to throw it in off Ollie Nags. Back to Hayward. Back to Howlett. Blocked by Morris. Takes it through the paint and out the other side. Balaz tries to clear. Kept in again. That one's off the side of the net. Hayward. Inside the final minute, I should say. Inside the final 30 seconds even now. It's been all gunning ho on this shift. Howlett back to the blue line. Paul goes to try and meet it. That one's well wide. McMullen spins away from Antonov. Antonov finally able to get the puck. Will try and clear. And that one will beat out any icing call and allow the Bees to get a change in. 5 seconds to go. That will do it for the first period as Howlett just dumps it in. Big hit, all swing, all miss. Delivered once again by Will Stead. End of the first period. And well, what can we say about that? If you're a Leeds Knights fan, you're ecstatic. It's 5-0. It's an absolute masterclass. We've also had 5 goals, 2 goalie changes, a timeout, and a fight that wasn't a fight.
But no partridge in a pear tree.
Not yet. The night is young. Chris, This is domination.
It is domination. The Knights have every zone in a chokehold right now. There is nothing the Bees really seem able to do that you know, they can. They've had such limited offensive opportunity. The best opportunity they really had was, you know, is exemplified by the fact that Balaz was tied up at the net and wasn't able to get that shot away in time. Because just Max Wright heading back to the locker room, he still is not happy. It looks like that he was swapped out there.
No. Well, we'll have a bit of a break. I can rest my voice, and we'll see you back here with the second period in about 15 minutes' time. Welcome back to the hangar for the second period of tonight's game. If I believe hard enough, maybe it's not 5-0.
No, it's definitely 5-0.
No, it's definitely 5-0.
Well,
Well,
0-5, as
yes.
producer Nick pointed out to me during the break.
Oh, he's such a pedant sometimes. Shots on goal in that first period. I'm just going to go into the specifics part of it here anyway, if I can still find the game sheet. 4 on the Knights, 20 on the Bees. Those 4 shots on the Knights going on Sam Gospel. Harrison Walker has faced none in 7 minutes so far. Max Wright faced 15 and gave up 5 Keen Skins, none on 5 in that first period. Penalties are plenty. No one seems to know why for a lot of them, because they're all off the camera, so sorry we couldn't help on that one. We haven't told us that Liam Morris did make the boarding play that started the fight, but then obviously I have gotten a lot of questions asking why was it not called a fight, which is...
Because it was aggressive instigating.
Aggressive instigating, yes. It's like, okay. Elsewhere in the league, have we got that one, producer Nick? So I know you're trying multiple things at once.
Trying to do tech stuff.
Yes, he's trying to be a tech lord again. Elsewhere in the league, it is the Hull Seahawks 4, Romford Raiders 1 at the end of the second period. Swindon Wildcats 1, Solway Sharks 0 at the second period. Berkshire Bees redacted, Leeds Knights redacted. MK Lightning 3, Bristol Pitbulls 0 in the first. And Peterborough Phantoms 1, Telford Tigers 0.
You can redact it all you want, mate. It doesn't change the fact that it's 0-5.
Look, you can call me, say that I'm in an African river, because at the moment I am in denial. You're not the only one who can do puns. Dean Skins leads out the team for the second period. Harrison Walker leading out the Knights. Chris, this next 40 minutes for the Bees, I'm not saying they're out of this because stranger things have happened in hockey.
As I said, I once saw a team go 6-0 down and come back to win it 7-6.
I've seen the Bees come back from 8-1 down and take it to a shootout.
Yep.
But they have to find something here in the second period.
Yeah, they have to find a way to get past that blue line first.
It would be a lovely start. They have 4 shots, most of them coming on that one power play, or 5-on-3, as the Knights collect the puck from behind their own net and they set Braden and Endicott away again. Turned over again, and Braden forces another save out of Dean Skins.
So this is something I wanted to mention. We didn't really get a chance to with that flurry of activity just at the end of the second when Skins was making all those saves. They're minor little things that help build the momentum a little bit, because they showed in those last 30 seconds that they could actually, you know, play a good defensive game, and Skins showed that, you know, the puck can be stopped heading in on that net. If they can find a way to replicate that throughout this period, that's a way back into this game.
As I say, they have to find a way of just generating some kind of traffic on Harrison Walker. Coming together there between Gallagher and Goodbye. Both players up and okay. Balaz dispossesses Perry. Goodbye gets his pocket picked by Braden. Gallagher finds Endicott over the blue line, tries to throw it in but can't beat Morris. And the back of the net it goes. Pass trying to find Endicott in the slot, but it's blocked. Not able to get a change in. Bees unable to string a pass at the moment. Mullen fires up to Bissonette. Skins out of the net to play it. Around the boards, collected by Neely. Hayward, down low. Bissonette. Fire through the crease. Hayward all alone, looks for an option. Skins way out of his net again. Neely shot through traffic. That's into the glove of Skins, and he'll hold on.
I feel like that's par for the course with Dean Skins, though.
He goes on an adventure.
When he was in Basingstoke, we used to joke that we were going to have to tether him to the net.
Yes, sees the blue paint as somewhat optional.
There's aggressive goaltending, and then there's Dean Skins goaltending.
Could be worse for now listening to Lola was a showgirl.
Well, you know, it's the DJ's job to get the crowd going.
Well, it's got the producers going at least, so at least they might be a bit happier in this period.
Knights at the moment doing that thing that they, well, one of the things that they're very good at, which is those cross-seam passes right in front of the net, looking for that snapshot.
Once again, kiss of death, Chris Beale, as that one is broken up.
The Knights, not the Bees.
Yeah, and they turned it over.
Yeah.
Bees have it down here. Antonov tries to spin away from Hayward. Poked away by
I need to
McMullen.
do that. I need to compliment the Knights more.
Bissonette away from Kelly. Cuts inside, uses the linesman as a screen. Finds Howlett back door. Goal number 6, please. 21-57. Mac Howlett gets his second of the night.
We see it there, down the wing, and then just across the front of the net for Howlett to put it into the bottom corner. Skins has it covered, but I think that goes 5-hole on him. Yeah.
Yeah, it's one thing I've been mentioning it for months. There's been this new trend in terms of hockey everywhere of not so much firing high, but waiting for goaltenders to move and using the opportunity of when they push off their leg to go low on them, because
Well, it's smart. Once the goalie's committed, they cannot change course, and you know it worked there. It's called, you know, it's now 6-0-6.
yes, we know. Producer Nick's been a pedant with you, and it's now 0-6. Thrown around the boards. Hare finds his way to Blazer. Howlett from Bissonette, the Knights' 6th goal. Bees able to turn it over, off the boards, blocked, but still kicked away twice. 3-on-1 here for the Bees if they're fast. Over the blue line, flicked across goal by Nag, instead unable to get on to the end of it before it crossed the goal line. Goodbye, tries to throw it through, deflection off the back of the skate, almost wrong foots Walker. Barlas tries to get a shot on goal, he's tied up by Lewis Baldwin, and Walker will cover.
Barron there, I think, aiding the Bees shot count.
That's not a shot.
It was on net.
To be fair,
The goalie had to stop
they
it.
probably will count it as a shot. Fine, it was not a shot of intent.
Yeah.
Face off to the left of Walker.
I had great fun the other week explaining to some newbies at the Invicta game how own goals work in hockey.
They don't. Erskine does a good job of holding off Fagalis. Thrown in from the blue line. Poole finds Smith. Yeah, welcome back, Josh. We know you've had 3 months off. Hope you're having fun. Ball. Rose takes it away from him. Tries to get his way past Ethan Hare. Poole again. A quick pass between him and Smith. Smith will give chase on the puck. Tries to battle away past Fagalis. Ethan Hare gets the turnover. Stopped immediately by Cathcart, or Ty Cathcart I should say. Griffin rides the check from Poole, fires up to Endicott. Endicott in, tries to get around Mogg. Takes a hit behind the goal, fired up to Antonov. Antonov, poke checked away by Ethan Hare, by Neely that time, sorry I should say. That one's Ethan Hare as he takes it over the blue line, he gets his pocket picked by Antonov. Hennings Mayer, thrown in on goal. That one is a shot, and that one is saved by Harrison Walker too. 15:49 remaining period 2. Before Chris gives us his thoughts, I will say this, producer Nick, we're doing the same thing we were doing last week. We are. So, Knights fans, pay attention. We'll have something for you at the start of the 3rd. You get to play along at home.
And win fabulous prizes?
No. No, they're already winning the game. That's enough. Antonov back to the blue line. That one not kept under control by Kelly. Just a fired up ice. McMullen collects.
I think the story of the night for the Bees out there. Every time they get into one of these positions where they could get a shot away at the point or get a shot away even in the paint, the puck bounces the wrong way off the stick.
And full credit to the visitors. The Knights have been relentless through 25 minutes.
They have executed on every opportunity given to them to score.
It's 6-0 and they haven't even put their power play to use yet. McMullen shot through traffic.
Don't
in
jinx
and
it.
out of the glove of Skins. Oh, it's bound to happen at some point. They'll get a power play. Good work from Antonov selling the dummy. Another shot into the glove of Walker, this time from Ollie Hennings Mayer again.
Been a good couple of link-ups there on the last couple of plays from Hemmingsmayer and Antonov with these stretch plays. Antonov just finding Hemmingsmayer at the winger's skins there, just gets the pad down and deflects it away. George is not happy with the lineup of the
Won by the Knights. And the ball's from Baldwin. Instead able to take it away from Brown. Balaz. Kieran Brown tries to set himself away. Gets his pocket picked there by Liam Morris. Step against the boards. Brown can't carry that one with him into the B's D zone. That will wash out any kind of forward momentum on that shift. Chipped ahead at the blue line. Baldwin.
He's currently trapped in the neutral zone here as Stead
finds Baldwin in the corner, ties him up. Help coming from Goodbye. And the Knights are still able to come away with it. Barron. Up the right-hand wall, thrown ahead by Blazer. Icing waved off as Morgan can play the puck.
Very much, the Knights, they are letting the Bees get that offensive zone possession here, but they're not surrendering the shots. The Bees are just being forced out wide every single time.
Something the Bees, have been very good at the last few weeks here. Tonight, not so much. Ethan Hare through centre ice, foot race. Braden skins, thinks about coming for it, does eventually. Hits it off of one of the advertising hoardings, and Braden will collect. Knights with it, cycling it around, back to the blue line. Perry down low. That one not quite as effective. Ballas can't clear Bailey Perry.
There's a Bees player without a helmet right now.
Yeah, and now Bailey Perry doesn't have a helmet on, and now this is just Bailey Perry and Marcel Ballas, and now this is a fight. Well,
more of a headlock.
It's more of a headlock because Ballas isn't a fighter. This feels silly, but he's going to get drawn into one now. And Marcel Ballas. Now it's a mass scrum. Now it's a full-on line brawl. Everyone pick a partner. Goodbye standing up for Ballas because he knows he's not a willing combatant usually. But, I mean you look at the age disparity there. 36-year-old Marcel Ballas gets punches thrown at him by 20-year-old Bailey Perry.
Also, you don't exactly want to lose two of your... right now, in this situation, you desperately do not want to lose
Well, they've
two
got
of your
another
best
one
scorers.
going now, even though the linesmen are trying desperately to jump in. It's Jordan Griffin and someone. It's Ty Cathcart with him on this occasion. I mean, it feels like frustration for the Bees, but that started from absolutely nothing. Bailey Perry with a perfectly clean hit to stop the Ballas breakout.
Ballas
and then,
Ballas' helmet was off, and then
26:56 is the time of what other penalties are coming.
I'm not sure where that came from. I mean, to be honest, nearly every penalty we've seen, like all these coincidentals we saw in the build-up to this, have all just come out of nowhere.
There's the check from Perry on Ballas.
The helmet comes loose.
Ballas has a bit of a shove.
There we go.
There's a shove from behind on Perry, and Ballas just sort of grabs hold of him. Like, that's uncharacteristic from Marcel Ballas, and he does throw punches there, so he's clearly a willing combatant in that point. Not usually a fighter. Bailey Perry does the splits, and yeah.
I mean, it's been a frustrating evening for the entirety of the Bees offense. They cannot at times get past even the centre line, and when their main tactic is always to play it down the outside on the boards, and the Knights have been going pretty heavy on the outside to neutralise that to great effect. So it's kind of understandable in that situation. I think that, his helmet's popped off. He's probably just decided, right, I've had enough.
Well, there's a discussion going on. No one
Great in-depth analysis.
Yeah,
there.
no one's being taken out of the box. So Ty Cathcart, Marcel Ballas are in there for the Bees. Bailey Perry and Jordan Griffin are in there for the Knights. Like I said, we'll try and I imagine it's going to be a swathe of fives. But you never know.
Could be 2-2 for instigator and aggression again.
Don't. Any and all complaints at 2 for flinching.
No, don't do this again.
Oh look, a moving bus. Yeah, we're all just going to sit and wait for a minute. There's still discussion going on. Someone is going into the Knights penalty box.
Is it a Gallagher or...
No, as in the linesman has gone to have a
yeah.
chat with someone, and Bailey Perry is being...
I think he's being thrown
I
out.
think he's being thrown out of the game.
Yeah.
That is... Well, it's the word of the night so far, everybody. That is bizarre. Bailey Perry, 5 in game 4, answers on a postcard.
Five, I mean, can you give game for the instigator?
No. Unless, I mean, the only thing you can do for it is if you're trying to say it's an unwilling combatant thing on Ballas, but,
but he
you've just
was
seen on the
very
replay,
willing.
He was very willing. He threw a couple of punches. He had him in a headlock. Perry wasn't done, and they both threw punches still. So if they, obviously, we're just assuming at this point, and the penalties could come in to be something completely different, and we've missed something that the linesman has seen. But as it stands,
it's either that or it's the initial hit, because the helmet popped off. They've possibly
tried
assumed
to say it's checked to the head.
Possibly.
Producer Nick, can you wheel it again for us? Just in case we've missed something like that, like Chris says. So here we go, on the boards. It's
to the chest. It's to the chest.
Marcel Ballas has been taken out of the box.
So maybe Ballas is going.
No, Ballas is being just put back on the bench, I think.
Oh.
The linesman's with him. Maybe Ballas is going as well. No, there's still discussions going on. No one appears to have any idea what is going on tonight. Ballas has been taken out of the box. He is now just stood on the blue line by the Bees bench, just off camera.
Cathcart's still in the box.
Cathcart's still in the box. Ballas has not been escorted from the ice.
In fact, well, the officials have walked away from him now, which would indicate, well, that means he's free to continue.
Because I know obviously there's a lot of fans watching, and Nick will confirm the number short at some point.
I mean,
but
I know my bosses are watching.
I just like to know for the record, Leeds fans, we're confused as anything and have no idea how Perry has been thrown out. Ballas has now been put back in the box. So I think that must have been a case of he needs to get something from the bench, i.e. probably his helmet fixed. So Ballas is back in the box. We're still waiting for any kind of announcement or update. 93 if you're watching. Well, we'll have lots of people this week then, won't we, Nick? Annika, can you hit refresh, see if anything's popped up on the website? No, they've got nothing there. The whistle's been blown. We're going live.
I did see Steve Merry run through with the clipboard, so it might be appearing any time now. Marcel Ballas.
Dom Gabai has been thrown out. Dominic Gabai has been ejected for the Bees. What is going on?
This is Bizarro World.
Right, here we go. Leeds Knights first. Bailey Perry. 5 in game for fighting for Bailey Perry. Jordan Griffin, 2 for roughing. On the Bees, Marcel Ballas. 5 for fighting for Ballas, that's fine. Ty Cathcart, 2 for roughing. They've given third man in.
I think there's a slashing call coming now.
Dominic Gabai.
4.
Game for Dominic Gabai for third man in. As a penalty call on the Knights while we were trying to listen for the penalties there. Bailey Perry and Dominic Gabai have been extremely harshly done by there. The Knights are obviously going back on the penalty kill. 27:09 the time of this penalty. It's 2 for slashing on Mac Howell at this time.
And
The Bees will go on the man advantage.
And if from a Knights perspective, Bailey Perry for 5 minutes for Dom Gavai and Marcel Balaz. That's an equitable trade.
Antonov, I think there's going to be both head coaches queuing up at the referee's door at the end of this period.
Dops are going to have fun with this one.
Knights with it. Neely, as he just tries to clear the zone, fired up ice. Pass across to Bissonnette, tries to backhand it towards goal, saved by Skins.
Bees power play right now has to find a way to score without their
two top power play scorers, yes. Morris, time for someone to be a hero in yellow.
Yeah.
He's had in the corner by McMullen. Antonov gets bumped by Brown. Play back into the corner. Antonov finally brings it out. Back to the blue line, Mogg. Through traffic, blocked by Neely. Back to the blue line. Morris with a chance. Morris shot off the post. Bundled in. Will Stead breaks the shutout. 28-11. And that is goal number 11 for the year for Will Stead. Definitely him this time.
Well, it's not pretty, but it counts. Shot comes in, it hits the post, rests there initially, and then Stead just dives to get that poke across the line.
As Chris says, not pretty, but it all counts. Stead from Morris for definite.
This is the thing, when you're facing netminders who are that dialed in that everything you hit from range doesn't get by them. Sometimes you just have to get close range and try to force one over the line like that.
Well, maybe turning point in the game.
Maybe.
Maybe. Yes, I'm absolutely huffing copium, but I feel like I should be allowed to here. Rose gets.
As I said, I've seen stranger things in hockey.
No, that's on Netflix.
Yeah.
Knights with it, kept in on the blue line by Baldwin. That one jumps up into the Knights bench off a glove. Play blown dead. Josh Smith gets an assist on that power play goal. So 1 game back and doubles his point tally for the year. As I said, Josh Smith hasn't played in 3 months. So an assist on his first night back.
Not a bad first night back.
It's not a bad first night back. So I'm just sure he's happy to be back on the ice. Puck held against the boards. See, if I know anything about Ryan Aldridge, he's going to be more angry at the fact they've given up a power play goal there in a game that they have been dominating.
Yeah, but all it takes sometimes is 1 goal to shift the momentum. As the Bees now looking for a breakaway
Ollie
here.
Hemmings-Mayer is through on goal. He sniped it home.
There was a whistle.
There's a whistle down because Blaser has taken out someone behind the play, and that has robbed Ollie Hemmings-Mayer of his first National League goal for the Bees. He is now pleading to Adam Bicknell because the Knights did not have the puck. Blaser has been thrown in. I genuinely do not understand why that has been blown dead.
I would assume blown dead.
Oh, that's why. Blaser with a stick to the head of Kelly.
Oh dear.
But still, like, we've seen here in the last month as well, players have been down in front of the net while the team has had the puck, the other team has had the puck firing shots on goal, and the whistle hasn't gone. The puck is 100 feet the other end. Ollie Hemmings-Mayer has finished superbly past Harrison Walker, and as the puck has gone into the net, the whistle has gone.
I mean, actually, I think I heard the whistle
just
before he fired the shot, so, you know,
but surely
as the saying
you just
goes,
let it run.
You play to the whistle.
Josh Kelly is up to 1 knee. The referees are having another conversation going on now. Kelly is back up to his feet and skating back to the bench.
I mean, I think the equitable thing to do here would be to give it as a delayed power play goal, in my opinion. But then at the same time, the whistle went before the shot was taken.
This is the thing. Should the whistle have gone? I think this is the point Stuart Mogg is trying to make now.
And that's the thing is also did Walker not try to make a save because the whistle had gone?
Kelly is currently being escorted to the changing room. He doesn't look in the best way, I'll be honest, right now. He's holding the back of his head, and as someone who has a history of concussions, I'm rather worried. He's being helped to the back by B. Staff and Hallam Wilson. If you're going to stop the game, I'm sorry, you kind of have to throw him out at that point.
Yes, although it looks like he's just going to get a standard 2.
He's just going to get a standard. Again, at that point, let the goal stand. It's not. It's going to be a power play. So 29:06, Jordan Bracer is going to sit 2 minutes, or maybe 5, we don't know, because they constantly give 5 minutes.
Even at 5, realistically, 5 in game for something like that, it might...
Well, you said DOPS were going to have a field day. I didn't realise there was going to be another one.
Jinx.
29:06, we're still waiting for a penalty on the board. Jordan Bracer has got 2 minutes.
Wow, so that's a 2-minute penalty.
I like to think I call these fairly unbiasedly, but I'm struggling to get my head around
technically, I'm
that.
meant to be the unbiased one here, and I think it should be more severe than that.
I think it's 2+2. Are they really calling that 2+2 for accidental high sticks?
I would assume accidental. The announcement on this.
The clock hasn't even running.
The clock is not running.
The clock is not running.
There we go.
There we go. It's finally started. We had about an extra 10 seconds there.
It would have been interesting if somebody had scored in that period.
It's 5-on-4 again. Stead into the zone. Spins away from Neely. Drop pass. Antonov. Save Walker. Morris tries to go back to Mogg. Mistimes that pass. Skins out of his net to play it.
I think he was anticipating Mogg being a little bit further over than he was there.
Smith leaves it for Mogg. Played ahead. Knights will get there first easily with Neely. That attempt is blocked down by Smith. Antonov. Here we go. Jordan Bracer. 2+2 for high sticks. And that is a reason to wash the goal off when the Knights don't have the puck.
Yes.
I'm sorry, 2 minutes for high sticks, 2 minutes for unsportsmanlike, I think. That was a B, apparently. There's no one in the box, though. We'll bring you the penalties when they're on NIHL national page.
In the meantime,
Smith
will dump it in.
50 seconds left on the man advantage. Dylan Hare throws it up ice. Skins has to play it. 9.5 to go.
Mogg now.
Yeah, waiting for the Bees to set up.
Really need to. Only 35 seconds left. They really need to do something with a bit of urgency here.
Yeah, the problem is, as we've said, you've lost Gabay and Balaz is still in the box. Your 2 main power play quarterbacks are not here right now. Yeah. Someone has to do it. Vanya Antonov is the elected man. With 20 seconds left, and Bees will change up as the power play winds down. Erskine. Lovely moves from Erskine as he cycles around the zone. Stops at the goal line, avoids Griffin. Back to the blue line, Antonov. Under pressure from Hayward, thrown towards goal. Griffin almost hopefully kicks it onto Dan Rose as the penalty expires. And that one thrown on net, Walker will cover up. Josh Kelly has been called 2 minutes for unsportsmanlike conduct. Jordan Bracer, 2+2 for high sticking.
So, is there something we obviously didn't see
there
on the replay that Kelly
there was a cross-check that started it, and Bracer's turned around. But that wouldn't be an unsportsmanlike conduct penalty. It would be a cross-check. Well, the linesman takes a tumble. That makes all the fans in the building happy tonight. Roman Cathcart.
The Bronx cheer.
Gets his pocket picked by Endicott. McMullen spins away from Hemmings-Mayer, who is now going to be livid that he's had a goal robbed away from him. Neely, up ice, Endicott. Hemmings-Mayer again over the blue line, stopped by Neely as he loses the handle on it on that occasion. Turnovers in the neutral zone are plenty. Morris fires across to Nags. That ball to Hemmings-Mayer, tries to push it along, but can't beat the stick of Neely. Thrown ahead. Neely collects the puck. Tick under 8 minutes remaining in period number 2. Thrown towards goal. Skins will have to push it away. McMullen thrown towards net. Almost kicked away by Endicott. He's tried to play for the tip in. He's probably tipped it wide, unfortunately, on that occasion. B's able to create the turnover. Cleared up ice. Deemed off the glove of McMullen, so no icing call. Neely back to collect. Brown at speed, cuts inside one, stopped by Antonov. Paul collects a loose puck. Nice little toe drag to get around Dylan Hare, not so successfully to get round Matt Barron.
Bees now trying that centre lane drive with Antonov, but they're hitting a wall of black and blue shirts just everywhere they go right now.
Shot blocked in front. Kept in the blue line by Dylan Hare. Turnover again, fired wide on that occasion. Bees able to clear the zone. The game somewhat settled back down into something resembling normality. Barron over the blue line. Tries to find Braden. That one well read by a B at the blue line. That was Adam Erskine on that occasion. Dylan Hare across to Barron. He's looking for a stretch pass. Braden and Brown have both gone to the bench, so there's nothing there. That stretch pass will result in an icing call. 6:05 to go. Balaz, Boisa and Fugalis sitting a penalty. That must be the Perry one. Yep. All return to the game.
And that denied goal and the subsequent kill, that penalty has really shifted the momentum.
Nick's played it again, didn't also use the tap, but yeah, Kenny with the initial cross check and Boisa flings the stick back. Here it is again. Kenny's trying to get stick loose. Little shove, little smack in the back.
I mean, that's not a high stick. That's a slash.
Yeah. Right.
Sorry to be pedantic.
No.
But hanging around Nick will leave me.
I'm sure someone will give us the link to it. Well, if you think you can do better, here's the referee's course. Bees up ice, off the boards. Erskine tries to play it on ahead. Hemmingsmayer able to beat Griffin to the puck. Bounce almost falls to Hemmingsmayer. Harrison Walker jumps on it.
Hemmingsmayer, they're just following it in. Again, playing to the whistle. Hoping maybe it comes a bit loose under Walker's glove, but no such luck.
Well, Dom Kabai's already changed and is heading up to the balcony opposite us. To watch the rest of the game with the injured members of the Bees team. Baldwin tries to bring it out of the zone, picked away by Antonov. Tries to find a shot, blocked by Fugalis. That will trickle all the way through to Harrison Walker. He'll cover up. Neatly at 5.5 minutes remaining in period number 2.
Well, at the moment, these are not the best of opportunities from the Bees, but it's keeping the puck keeping the puck away from their own net. It's keeping the puck in the offensive zone, it's giving an opportunity to, on every one of these face-offs, to try and generate a play. And Marcel Balaz returns to the fray.
Yep, lines changed up again. Balaz, Stead and Antonov. As Antonov breaks up that pass, finds Milstead. Shot blocked in front by Baldwin as he and Balaz tie up. Endicott able to get past Morris, 2-on-1 the other way. Ollie Endicott fires across to Innes Gallagher. No look drop pass, no connection. Bees the other way. Stead into the zone, swarmed by Gallagher and Baldwin. Balaz tries to weave his way through 4 black shirts. Back to the blue line, Mogg steps away from one. Walker makes a save, has to push the side as Balaz bears down. Endicott breaks up that pass for a second. Shot from the blue line again, into the glove of Walker. He'll hold on.
I think this is right now, the Knights can afford to really soak up this pressure. Bees really need to find a way to turn these constant turnovers. They're forcing the turnovers, but the problem is that they're just missing that little bit on the last bit of the play.
Knights with it. McMullen throws up the boards. Rose breaks it up, mostly offside, so he may be allowed to touch it. McMullen will collect and drive the lane. He runs into trouble, but he's able to break that one up rather easily. Here they go the other way. Paul across the Roman Cathcart, looks for an option. Settles for throwing it around the net. Good idea. Unfortunately, no one in the yellow shirt with him. Throwing up ice to Hayward. Hayward in on goal. Skins makes a save. Roman Cathcart with a hit on Neely. B's able to clear again. Foot rest of the puck. Stopped by the referee. It's helpful. Rose's no-look pass to Paul is broken up by McMullen. Howlett tries to step aside. Stopped by Mogg. Hayward bats it into the corner. Attempted breakout now for the Bees. Hemmings Mayer, lovely pass once again. Josh Smith can't quite get under control. Bo Neely, brilliant on the back check. Neely evades Smith. Tries to get it onto his forehand. Does eventually. Fired up to Barron, who'll just tip it on ahead. Skins will push it into the corner for Morris.
That's the thing, though, about this Knights team. They are just relentless both in attack and defence. It doesn't matter how clear a Bees player might think they're about to try and get there. Always just seems to be a black shirt.
They're very good at closing down angles and just space.
I mean, at just one point here in front of us, like there was literal a diamond of Knights players around the one Bees player with the puck.
Griffin over to Dylan Hare. Brown can't get that one under control. Bees into the zone, immediately broken up by Griffin. Barron, Dylan Hare, Brown into the zone, thrown on goal. Skins makes a save and makes the follow-up save on Jordan Blaser. Blaser again behind the net. This time tries to throw it in front to Brown. Skins with a save, makes a second, and now Wilstead is going to try and get at Jordan Blaser.
I did wonder when this was going to happen.
Well, technically, that's 2 minutes for instigating. So, if they're consistent, and now we do have, wow, that is 4-on-1. That is ugly. And that's all I'm going to say. 37-16, there's a whole swathe of penalties
One
coming.
of the Knights players has gone to the bench already, holding his wrist as well. Look after that. So that all seemed to start with Jordan Griffin again, I think.
Griffin has been ejected straight away.
It's still going off by the boards here as well.
Well, Griffin is either being thrown out because there's less than 5 minutes to go in the period, or he's been ejected. He has been sent to the locker room for now. So we will update when we can, but all I wanted was a nice game of hockey, and now we've got this. Liam Morris is also being sent to the locker room, so I'm going to assume this is because it's 5 minutes ago. I think these are ejections, because Will Stead has been sent to the box. Chris is eagerly trying to listen into the conversation between Morris and linesman Kenny George.
That didn't sound like I'm sending you to the locker room for just to cool down from the last 2 minutes conversation.
No. Yeah. I will say this for everyone watching. Apologies for tonight. This game has been a mess. There's never
my fault, right?
Yeah. But there's never usually been this kind of aggro.
I mean, to be honest, I expected after what happened with
that's the other camera.
After the Buesa incident, I was expecting something like that to kick off eventually. But the thing is in
here
this
it is. For all of you fight fans, Buesa has a dig as he's allowed to. Instead, so we have another discussion. I'm not being picky, but so far this period has taken almost 40 minutes.
Reminds me of remember that night in Swindon.
It's going to be a long
The
night.
30-minute referee conference after Aaron Connolly and Aaron Nell.
Yeah, but they've still got that one wrong. They've got a lot wrong tonight as well.
Yep.
Liam Morris is having to be held back at the Bees locker room door here, I should say.
Just trying to see if there's anyone has emerged from the Knights locker room, maybe. slightly the problem here in this arena that the away dressing room and the Bees dressing room are very close to one another.
Yes, this is an issue, but luckily there is security down here tonight. We're still waiting. We're going to find out what these penalties are at some point. 37-16 is the time of the penalties. Yeah. Hope you're having fun at home. Maybe you should have watched Strictly after all. Yes,
Blue Line Photography, Chris Callahan is currently, yeah.
Yeah, Blue Line Photography is currently, he's messaged me. He's messaged me that after you've had a fight and you play Jingle Bell Rock. We've just got to get the vibes going, lads. It's Christmas, Theo.
It's the time of miracles.
Will Stead has gone to the bench while everyone has a chat. Things are being explained to Ashley Tate. Not Ryan Aldridge, interestingly, but I'm sure they'll go over to him in a minute. Right, I'm just going to say it now so everyone is prepared. So, everyone watching at home, since we've got time, at the start of the third period, we will be putting up 2 QR codes. You, the viewers at home, are picking man of the match for both teams. There will be 4 players for both sides. They'll be selected, and you just have to take your pick from them. At the moment, it could be a very easy discussion because not many players might be left in the game. So, don't forget, Leeds Knights fans, I cannot reiterate this enough because we had this problem with Sheffield last week. You can vote for both teams because last week they only voted for the Dogs players and about 4 of them voted for the Bees. So, help us out, vote for both teams. Nick will put the QR codes up through the periods. He'll flash one up for the Bees ones. He'll flash the Knights ones up. Obviously, if you are quick, you'll see them, but they will go up numerous times. They will go up from the start of the third period once we are back, and obviously I can introduce them, and that will run until 5 minutes to go in the period, there or thereabouts, if there's no stoppage. So, yes, you're picking man of the match at home from a select list. They will go live at the start of the third period, so we'll have more names for you then. And like I say, it might be an easy selection at the moment. Penalties being explained to Ryan Aldridge and not us. Well, Steve Merry has gone back with his clipboard of doom tonight. Kieran Brown has 5 minutes on the board. That's one we can tell you.
Here's the thing. If you're going to eject Dom Gavai for a third man in,
Yeah.
there needs to be a third man in call here.
You've set the precedent.
Yeah.
Here we go. Leeds Knights, Jordan Griffin. 5 and game for fighting for Jordan Griffin. So, also for the Knights. Kieran Brown. 5+ game for fighting for Kieran Brown. For the Berkshire Bees. Liam Morris, 5 in game for fighting. 5 in game for slashing on Morris. Hang on. So 5 in game for slashing on Morris, 5 in game for fighting on Griffin, 5 in game for fighting on Brown. I'm going to say it again, bizarre answers on a postcard, please.
Presumably, obviously, the bulk of those are coincidentals because it's a 5-on-4 here and
Yes.
Kieran Brown is the only one on the clock.
Yes, but it is also interesting that when 3 men jump on 1 Bees player, there is not a third man in.
Yeah.
There's no consistency.
There was actually a third, a fourth, a fifth man.
I mean, that's my main gripe with everything. There's no consistency, and I know players feel that frustration, fans feel it all the same too. That one goes up into the bench.
Haywood is not happy with the Bees bench and has some words for them.
Yes, how dare they be there trying to open the door. 2:17 remaining in period number 2. Liam Morris is out of the changing room again. I think he's waiting for the end of the period here. Everyone having a good time at home. Tweet us in. Put us a post out. We'll find it. Hashtag BeesMNL. Nick and Annika could find it. At Skirtsy Water at 2 for flinching. We'll find it. Ian, I hope you're having fun in Manchester. This isn't what I was expecting, so I'm guessing it's not what you were either. Bees play into the zone. Antonov, down low, Balaz. So somehow the Bees are on a 5-minute major. Howlett hit on Balaz, and that makes him lose his footing. Back to Antonov. Drops it off for Balaz.
Howlett really lucky there. That wasn't like at least a foot further forward, because that could have been boarding. Yeah.
Puck cleared, finds Mogg. Tipped away by McMullen. Thrown up ice, Skins out of his net to play it. Knights will get a change in. Antonov. Dumped in, Walker out of his net to play it. Rings it round the boards. Balaz is there. Thrown down low. Smith tries to get the shot away. Brilliantly picked off by Hayward. And that will set Matt Bissonette away. 2-on-2 as the Bees don't look interested in back checking. Hayward thrown towards Bissonette. Skins watches that one go through the paint and out the other side. Final minute of the second period. My God, we need a break. Baldwin dumps it in. Skins once more. Gets hold of it. Rose just fires it into no man's land. Boycer in on goal. Boycer saved by Skins. Cleared by the Bees. Rose. Bees circling the net. Balaz looking for an option. I don't think standing still is going to help the matter. Mogg back to the blue line. Antonov fans on the pass as Rose pinches in to try and take the shooting lane. Hare rings it off an advertising board. Erskine finds Rose. Back to Antonov. Down low. Erskine tip in front. Kick save Walker. Brilliantly well done there by the Knights netminder. 10 seconds to go. Thrown in front again. Walker doesn't have to make a save on that one. Rose's tip takes it wide of the goal. Baldwin gets the puck, dumps it up ice, and that will do it for period number 2. Well, it's a long time ago. The Knights went 6-0 up. The brilliantly worked goal. The Bees got one back on the power play thanks to Wilstead dive at the back door. And then, well, it all descended into chaos. There's not much more to be said about this. This is it's not really a hockey game.
Chaos. It's utter chaos.
It's utter chaos. Right, we're going to go take a breather. We're going to draw up the man of the match list. We'll be with you in about 15 minutes' time while we try and work out what is going on. Right, everybody, welcome back to the third and final period of tonight's whatever we're meant to call this now.
Hockey game?
No. So, it's 6-1, that's what we do now. Stats for that second period, I'm hoping Nick has done what he was told. Shots on goal, there weren't 20 and 4. Penalties this period, as we said, lots and too many, because there were literally too many to put on the penalty sheet here. So, yeah, good luck with that.
Over an hour in penalty minutes so far.
Yeah, each. One thing we do, or should say, is it's been mentioned around the rink in case of 2 injuries on this one. Kieran Brown, apparently, by the sounds of it, has a broken wrist, which explains the Liam Morris 5-game slashing.
That would explain. I saw a Knights player heading to the bench. That would have been Kieran Brown.
Yeah, which also explains why the 5 games for slashing was called, and correctly so. And Josh Kelly, they needed a paramedic to attend the Bees changing room at the end of the period for him due to the accidental high stick from Jordan Boycer. Like I said, this game has been a disaster.
I believe he has gone to hospital.
Yes, I believe, yeah, Josh Kelly has been taken to hospital.
Yeah.
Nick,
sorry, if everybody hears the word paramedics, I think everybody assumes. So anyway, Vanya Antonov will play it out wide.
Yeah, sorry, I don't know if you heard that one because the screen filter went up. Josh Kelly and obviously maybe Kieran Brown have now both gone to hospital. We don't know about Kieran Brown personally, but we have been reliably informed by the Bees staff that Josh Kelly has gone to hospital with a suspected concussion. Yes, so 6-1. Let's just get this game done, over and done with, shall we? Oh yes, man of the match votes, before I forget. 4 players for both teams, 4 for the Bees, 4 for the Knights. We managed to pick up some things. There's a QR code. It's the one QR code for both teams. Simply click the logo for both sides, Bees and Knights. Nick will keep flashing that up through the period. You've got 15 minutes of game time, which if it goes like the second period means you've got about an hour. Knights into the zone. Good little stop and go move from Howlett to draw Mogg out wide.
There Again, a turnover after a forced period of the Bees just trying to get past that blue line, but they just couldn't get it really further than the red line now as Erskine will try and lead the breakout. He plays it in. Sorry, Joe, I'm doing your job.
It's all right. I've got a cold because my voice arrest for a minute. Bees into the zone, thrown out in front of the net. Antonov shot, blocked first time. Cleared by Baldwin. Cathcart. Pass not the crispest, but it still makes its way to Ty Cathcart. That's a shot on goal. It's collected by Antonov. Balaz. Thrown round to Smith, who's now been moved up to the top line. Cathcart shot through traffic. Tip takes it wide of the net this time. Cathcart once again at the blue line. Baz angrily slamming a stick on the ice, calling for the puck. The problem with the lines have all changed up again. Finally, the puck makes its way to Balaz. Fakes out one move from Braden. Pass down low again. Knights return to full strength as the Brown Major is killed. Smith shot brilliantly blocked in front by, I believe, Jordan Griffin. Oh, sorry, can't be. Noah McMullen. I just saw a 4 on the back. Knights into the zone. Boycer, who is roundly booed by the Bees fans who are still here. Not surprised, most of the kids have passed their bedtime by now. Knights behind the net, drops off in front, shot saved by Skins, nearly crashing in off the blue line. McMullen can't keep that one in.
Had it in, redirected it almost straight to a Knights player with an empty cage.
Boycer in on goal. Haywood throws it down low, Boycer. Cycled round by the Knights. Haywood gets dispossessed by Nags.
I don't think Erskine was expecting that as it ended up at his feet, and he will dump it in and it'll be chased by Rose. Play back to the point where Mog will come to it, but it's outside the plate, so it will be dumped in. And no, the Bees are going to stick with this line as the Knights will get set up. I think, Joe, are you sorting out the man of the match?
No, I've already done that. I'm trying to sort out trains.
Okay.
It's all right. This is why I brought Chris along. I can multitask. Knights into the zone. Chris more than capable of doing this himself. He did a Southland playoffs without me. Hemmings Mayer over the blue line. Thrown in on goal. Maybe they'll let him have the goal this time, but it's saved by Walker.
Nope. So the thing I did want to say at the end of the second, get a chance with everything that was going on, was very important that the Bees tried to find a way to score in that late bit where they had the beginning of the 5-minute major, because as we saw there at the beginning of the second, the Knights had a chance to reset their penalty kill, and just like the Bees were finding ways in on the net at the end of that second, but we saw there they were kept all the way to the outside.
Trust me when I say it, we had the same thing last week against Sheffield, 5 minutes towards the end of the period. We came back out the third and gave up a short-handed goal immediately, so this 5-minute power play was much better.
So in a way we're +1.
Yes. Great success. Puck finally cleared out from the pile. Paul gets dispossessed by Braden. Knights over centre ice. Dylan Hare gets, well, his attempted dump in blocked by Mogg. Howlett collects the puck from behind his own net. They will go up the left-hand side. Good work from Stead and Antonov again. Mogg, first on a loose puck, fired around the boards, collected by Barron. Shot on goal, kicked away by Skins. Neely can't beat Balaz. Balaz's attempted clearance immediately gloved down. Back to Neely. He'll have another go. That one's blocked by Antonov. Chance for a break for the Bees. Vanya Antonov on a horse, drops it off to Balaz. Back to Antonov, crashes in on goal on Walker. Good save, Harrison Walker once again. And good work from the Knights D-men on the back check, McMullen and Neely. Boycer tries to shovel one in short side on Skins. That one not in either. Stead gets pushed off the puck. Played up ice. Skins out his net to play it. Round the boards, only finds Bissonette. He'll go back to Hayward. Hayward through the crease. Ethan Hare doesn't read the deflection well. Don't blame him, that was its speed. But he's turned it over. Smith. Clear back into the Bees D zone.
It is really what gets you when you play against the Leeds Knights is just the speed at which they move the puck. As a here, I think there's a call for a tripping penalty there.
Just a little one for Garlis. Down low.
But if your back checkers don't adapt to how quick that puck gets moved around, we've seen what's happened tonight with these 6 goals.
Hayward back to the blue line, shot through traffic, tipped by Bissonette, saved by Skins. Erskine can't get around for Garlis. Hayward. Cathcart tries to clear, kept in the blue line once again. Thrown down low to Hayward, no look pass through the crease, finds Gallagher, can't get it under control. Back to the blue line again. Another net front battle, this time Smith and Hayward as Figalis circles. Thrown towards goal, Skins with the save. Hayward with the tip in. And you'd like to think a bit of common sense would prevail here and just let's get through the end of this without any more stupid penalties.
I mean, it's not just that, it's also, if I'm actually tell you, I probably would have said to the boys in the locker room that they are doing everything they can to wind us up. They have hurt us, they have injured some of our players. But we cannot afford to lose any more bodies this period if we are to make any kind of a comeback.
No, we had 16 tonight, and I believe the Red Hawks are playing tomorrow in Oxford. Tomorrow?
I believe so.
Yes, so that's 2 players down already, 14. You've now got 2 players probably suspended, or possibly suspended, who knows with DOPS nowadays. So it could be back to 10 skaters again, as everyone likes to tweet. Knights with it. Neely carries it into the zone, tries to get around Toombs. No joy on that occasion. Rose. Can't clear. McMullen does it for him. One of the very few mistakes now McMullen has made tonight. Dumped in. Toombs is there to collect the loose puck. Fired around the boards now. Hemmings Mayer even. The face cage threw me for a second. Rose turns and fires 2 Nags. See, he was there. Honest.
He's out there somewhere.
Yeah. It's bad a bit at this point. Nags spins away, tries to find Mogg. Does. Mogg off the bench, fires on goal, off the blocker of Walker.
Not really any traffic in front. Walker was going to see that all day long.
Rose pinned to the boards and knocked loose. Don't forget, you can vote for man of the match for both teams on this QR code here. Surprising Nick. There he is. That QR code, vote for both teams man of the matches, not just your own, everybody. Hemmings Mayer, who is on that list. Back to Mogg, who is also on that list. Shot fired, blocked. This time by Ollie Endicott, who I think was on the list. I can't remember who was on there now. Chipped ahead, here come the Knights once more. Over the line, Gallagher, lovely pass, another lovely pass, and off the skate of Mogg, almost wrong foot Skins, and covers up.
Get that speed again coming into play here from the Knights. The tic-tac-toe passing, but this time no goal.
.11:24 to go in period number 3. Yes, Vanya Antonov, Marcel Balaz, Ollie Hemmings-Mayer, Stuart Mogg, your man of the match votes for the Bees. For the Knights, Bo Neely, Finn Braden, Matt Barron, Ollie Endicott. Obviously, as you can imagine, quite difficult to bring the list to 4 with who's left on the ice. Skins makes another save. Puck almost moved back to Howlett. Foot race to it. He beats Stead there. Barron. Under pressure by Toombs. Howlett back high. Back to Howlett. That one catches him wrong-footed on a backhand. He can't get under control. Beats can break. Antonov instead, 2-on-1. But here comes the close down. Antonov, lovely toe drag, tries to go in front of the net. I'm guessing it's a poke check of a dive there. I couldn't quite see what made Antonov lose the control of the puck. Knights over the blue line again.
Either way, again, that as we've said already, like just the way they close you down. They have this amazing ability to make what seems like a wide open space just collapse in on a player almost instantaneously, no matter how far away any of them are. Antonov now gives it to Mog, who runs into a Knights player. Now the Knights will turn it over and break the other way.
4 on 3, into the zone they come. Finds Bissonette, that one just behind him from McMullen. Hayward cleans up the trash. Bissonette tries to go back to the blue line. That's actually kicked away by Ethan Hare. Halfway gone in the third. Smith finds Nags up to Erskine as we just push along the wall. Lots of cover. They have to wait for Hayward to get over the blue line and dump it in. Stick almost up into the crowd. As Ollie Nags loops Ethan Hare's stick up in the air. Goes back and collects it. Ethan Hare doesn't like losing his expensive twig. Pass along to Toombs. Kept in again. Tip in front. Almost tipped in by Ollie Nags.
I mean, at today's stick prices, I don't blame him.
Less said about hockey sticks and the bees this year, the better. We were given 150 sticks at the start of August by someone, and they've all broke. Every single one in the exact same spot. We're playing Christmas music because we're here for vibes tonight. And they are immaculate, as you can tell. Sorry, Leeds fans. We've tried our best. Smith wins the draw ahead of Braden. Cleared up the ball by Toombs. Roman Cathcart will try and get past Dylan Hare. Good work by the young B-man. I think I can still call him young, Dylan Hare. Bees have too many men on the ice. Cathcart runs back, shot on goal, saved by Skins. Bouncing puck collected by Braden. Off the back of the cage, it finds Mog. Roman will help it at the wall. Erskine just behind Dan Rose on that occasion. Rose. Pass picked off by Fagalas. Knights throw it in. Skins out of his net to play it. Braden back to the blue line. That goes at the zone. That gives me enough time to say, don't forget, you can still vote for your man of the match. You've got a couple of minutes left. Use this QR code here. Vote for both man of the team's man of the matches. That way you get a say in who gets some beers for the bus ride or potential car ride home. Actually, no, not the car ride home. Before the car ride home and not driving because the partners are here. Knights over the line, dropped off, shot saved by Skins. Mog clears it away. Boycer bears down, kept it at the blue line, far towards goal, kicked side by Mog again. Cathcart pushes it up the wall to Rose. Tries to find Paul. And he gets his pocket pick. Knights will go the other way. Barron. Thrown towards goal. Tip takes it wide of the net. Boycer gets there. Toombs takes it away from him. Poole, lovely little move. Almost works on that occasion for Josh Poole. Glove down by Toombs. Boycer getting booed by the fans. Rose. Just throws it in as the Bees go for a change. Neely is there. Turns it over. Fortunately, Wilstead not able to get it onto his forehand to get any form of shot really on Walker.
It's continuing the theme of the evening of every time a Bees player gets into a pretty good position, the puck just isn't bouncing the way they want it to.
Knights with it behind their own net as we tick down to 7 minutes left in the third. Thrown back in behind the Knights goal even, McMullen. Throw it over to the right-hand wall. Stretch pass it through centre. So net shot in. Oh, I think that's gone in, but it's been washed out. I thought we've got a pretty good vantage point from up here. That hit Twine.
I'm pretty certain it hit Twine.
That should be goal number 7, Balaz. Well, it's now 1-1 in goals that haven't been given. So at least we're even on something. Man of the match. Yeah, this is your last chance to vote for it. Do it quick. Here's producer Nick and his little happy button. Your last chance to vote for both teams' man of the match. Who gets to take away an empty box at the end of the game? We'll make any chance to get the replay for that and just see if it went in at the next break, if possible. Gallagher in on goal, tries to drop it off, blocked by Nags.
Get a break. This last period of play has been back and forth as Cathcart now leads the rush.
Roman Cathcart
shoots.
Blocked by Baldwin, I'm going to say. I don't think it got through to Walker. Through the slot, no one in a yellow shirt. Gallagher gets his pocket picked by Toombs. Ollie Nags blows a tyre as he closes in on Finley Braden. Flicked up the wall, gloved down by Neely, knocked loose to Roman Cathcart. Into the zone. Neely tries to help it on its way. Good work from Braden. Just end-to-end rush hockey. It's almost like a training session now as the Knights get in on goal. Shot saved by Skins from Endicott. Play behind the net. Stead brings it away. Tries to spin back away from Endicott, but he will not give up on that. And with 5 minutes left to go in the third, like the world's worst Ant and Deck impersonators. Yes, I'm Ant because I'm the slightly taller one. The man and match polls are now closed. So we'll get your man of the match winners at the end of the game. I'm only calling Ant and Deck because we probably should have stayed at home and watched I'm a Slab. Knights. Cross ice pass. Fired into the zone, icing waved off. Ty Cathcart tries to bring it through traffic. Howlett bats it down and takes it away from Ollie Hemmings May.
That's a very interesting route to try and take out, right in front of your own net, right through the awaiting Knights players.
Stead will just push it up ice. Dan Rose gets on the end of it. On his own, tries to get a shot through. Walker does come through, covers up. Hit delivered by Mac Howlett there. I think it's more a case of timing, but awkward landing for Dan Rose.
He is up
and okay. Yep. No harm done there. Just
I mean, Rose is following his rebound.
Yes.
There, you know, and obviously Howlett's lining up for it.
Like I thought, yeah, Ollie Endicott's pointed to the goal. Nick, can you wheel it possibly and slow it down? I think that's gone in because I'm fairly sure I saw Twine. Here it is on the backhand. Yeah.
Yes. Just inside the post. It's just inside the post there.
Ollie Endicott, you've also been ruined, much like Ollie was in the second. So, 7-2 in real terms of goals, 6-1 in the actual scoreboard. 4 minutes exactly to go in the third.
Persian's breaking out the Halloween music now.
Yeah. I think the game has gone on so long now, he is just running out of music.
I was clean shaven when tonight started.
Well, you were shaven.
Yes.
Knights over the blue line, Ethan Hare. Bissonette cuts inside, tries to fire it through to Matt Hayward. Morg tries to clear under duress from Ethan Hare and does, but icing is signalled and cold. Come all the way back the other way.
And this now will pretty much I would have expected realistically Aldridge to have had them do this from probably about the 5th goal, but now we are probably going to see the Knights just park the bus, and this game is just going to descend into a series of long stretch passes from the Bees trying to force some kind of a break attempt.
Well, held up there, Bees finally able to knock it clear. Antonov helps it on its way. McMullen gets there ahead of Paul, but only finds Ballas. Gets it out from underneath his feet. Tries to get away from McMullen. Big hit from Ballas. Again, that's unnecessary. I think it's also a case, much like the Rose one a second ago, of just as Mullen's tried to turn.
Mullins was shifting his position at the exact moment of contact.
Knights over the blue line again. Prone towards goal, kick save Skins. Antonov will just clear. Does remind me, we should probably check what the shots on goal were for the second period. Shots on goal for the second period, for what it was worth, it was 10 on Dean Skins, 10 on Harrison Walker. Penalty minutes across both teams in that period was 137. Wow. Knights fired in. Stead. Dispossessed by Braden. Gallagher drops it off for Braden. Lovely move again, but lovely back checking from Josh Smith. That's what he brings back to the Bees again. So proper defensive forward for Garlis. Back to the blue line. Neely through traffic. Skins throws just whatever he can at it, and it's enough to tip it over the bar. Nags round the boards. Cathcart tries to clear, can't. Fired cross zone. Braden will get it under control. Into the final 2 minutes of the third period. Mercifully, the third period being a lot quicker than the second was. Cathcart loses it at centre ice. Too many men. They're not going to call that one. There was 6 Bs on the ice. Answers on a postcard again. Erskine shot on goal. Saved by Walker. No one in a yellow shirt crashing the net to poke home the rebound.
Walker also coming a bit far out to meet him, close off that angle.
Look, he's been watching Dean. It looked fun. Mogg shot from centre ice is wide. Cycled round the boards. Into the last 80 seconds. Blaser stopped by Mogg. Howlett has to leave it as he jumped the gun, crossing the blue line. Cathcart tries to find Paul. He was looking for a change rather than a pass. Puck falls through, moved across to Barron. Barron takes the hit from Roman Cathcart. The Bees clip it up ice. Rose tries to back down, can't on that occasion. And penalty called, and that is going to be Matt Barron's first penalty of the season. 59-10. The Bees are going to finish the game on the man advantage.
2 minutes for elbows.
2 minutes for elbowing is the call on Matt Barron. Like I say, first penalty of the season. I'm not sure about an elbow. You could have maybe called interference, but I don't think it was an elbow. But this is a case of job done, and regardless of what the last, let's face it, hour and a half have been like for both teams, that first period from the Knights was truly phenomenal, and they're well deserving of the 2 points.
Oh, yeah.
As they look to kill the rest of this 50 seconds off, cleared up ice. Mogg leaves it for Balaz. Can the Bees grab a second second actual goal that can be given? I almost said legitimate, but we scored 2 legitimate ones, and the Knights have scored 7 legitimate ones. So Antonov throws it in. Smith leaves it for Balaz. Time for one shot, maybe, if they can get it out of the corner. Smith back up the wall. Mogg chooses to play defence rather than pinch in. Dropped off. Neely to Bissonette. Lovely move. Lovely poke check by Will Stead. McMullen just tries to fire it in. That one's blocked by Will Stead. And that will see the buzzer go as the Leeds Knights take a 6-1 victory back to Yorkshire this evening. Like I said, alluded to there, Chris, regardless of what the last 40 minutes of game time, what the last hour and a half here have been like, that first period for the Knights was clinical, it was phenomenal, it was ferocious.
It was relentless. And that's the period where realistically this whole game was sewn up. Opening, they scored within inside the first 10 seconds.
21, I believe.
First 21,
but 2 goals in 2 minutes.
2 goals in 2 goals in 2 minutes, and they choke-holded off the Bees' offense to the point where the Bees just could not get anywhere near Gospel. And any time they did get near Gospel, that ironclad defense that we talked about, where they just close down and collapse in on whoever is the puck carrier and make it so that they cannot get a shot away, they cannot get a pass away. Every single time the Bees went wide, that's where the puck would stay. It would go to the corners and it would stay there, and it would then be repelled out.
One of the other things as well that's more impressive is just the ability to close space down as fast as they do.
Yep.
Like, I haven't seen other teams here this year, and obviously now we've seen everybody here this year. You haven't, but no team has been able to just close down space and close down angles as quickly as the Knights have been able to. They're so switched on at the back end, particularly, and it even goes as far as the forwards at the forechecking end of the ice, that the ability to just close everyone down quickly, not give them a second to try and think, means you have to make rash decisions. It chokes the life out of games.
Your entire back check has to have its head on a swivel when you go against the Leeds Knights, because all it takes is one mistake and they are off at warp speed to the other end of the rink.
You just wanted to get the word warp speed in tonight.
I might have done.
You've been watching Star Trek again.
Maybe.
The Bees, the first 20 minutes, there's no other words for it. Awful. They did not get anything going. The only time they did was on a power play. They got 4 shots off and then didn't get a shot for the last 7 minutes of the period.
Yep.
Better in the second, regardless of the penalty nonsense. We're talking more about the overall style of play. The third, obviously, the third was going to be a bit more relaxed, but valuable ice time for players like Ollie Hemmings-Mayer, like Roman Cathcart, like Ty Cathcart, like Preston Toombs, all having to step up and just fill in. None of them put a foot wrong.
No, I mean, there's a reason why Ashley Tate and Donga Bai have recruited these guys for this level on their 2 ways. I mean, I watch Preston every single week, and he is coming on in such leaps and bounds as a defenseman over the last couple of seasons, and it's good to see that he actually looks like he belongs. It's good to see he looks like he belongs at this level.
Well, man of the match for the Leeds Knights goes to Ollie Endicott. As you can imagine, it was a bit difficult, but Ollie Endicott should have had a goal there at the end. Don't forget, he scored number 7. Yeah, if anyone wants to let him know, yeah, it did go in. We said it went in. We're all right. We've got the benefits of replay, of course, up here. Yeah. But again, a very good night for him.
We have VAR.
Yes, we have VAR. Better than the Premier League. Knights fans, well, I usually say we hope you've enjoyed your evening with us. I mean, I hope you've enjoyed your evening with me and Chris, at least. We've had fun, despite everything going on. You are back here just after Christmas. Sunday the 5th of January is your third and final trip to the hangar this year. 6 o'clock face-off. Unfortunately, Chris has decided he wants to do a Streatham game that night, so we're hoping for another call-off for that one. Actually, no, don't have a call-off that night, please.
No, please don't.
Please don't. So if you can't make it to the ring, I'll be here on the stream with you, and hopefully we'll have something a lot better. As the Beast fans are now...
sweets being
yeah, they're launching sweets to their players. Not sure why. Wasn't planned, but hey, everyone loves diabetes. Oh, the long throw of some Maltesers. Is it bad that I can recognise? No, that's Maltesers.
Celebrations pack.
That's celebrations. Oh, I just saw red and white and thought it was Maltesers.
I can't believe with like how bad my eyesight is that I was able to recognise that at this rate.
Look, we can both spot a bag of sweets from a mile away, let's face it. We've had shirt off his back, and then Bees man of the match again, as you can imagine, difficult choice, but it goes to Stuart Mogg, man of the match of the Bees. Tough night, but again, didn't really put a foot wrong. I obviously would have made a case for Ollie Hemmings-Mayer, should have got the second goal, and rightly so, but Stuart Mogg, a very solid night for him.
Oh yeah, very solid night for him. He was everywhere. I mean, the amount of shots I think we saw him take from the point, trying to force something to happen, and a lot of them very good as well. Like a lot of his cohorts on the defensive end were just seemed to be blind firing and hitting Leeds Knights players. Almost every time he took that shot from the point, Moggy seemed to be at least finding the space to get it through onto net.
Stuart Mogg is now signing a cap. Well, it was sweets originally. There's now some alcoholic beverages being thrown on the ice as well. Mogg launches the cap into the crowd. Sorry, I'm a little distracted because Ashley Tate is currently reading the right act to the referees down to my left. He's having a conversation with them and looking for some explanations. So, yeah. The Bees go for a lap of honour. Chris, thank you for at late notice joining me. Have you had fun?
As always, I've had fun. I got to see 7 goals and a bunch of hockey fights.
Yeah, well, you used to like Streatham.
Yeah.
Obviously, Chris, you're back in 2 weeks for Peterborough. Teddy Bear Toss Night, Christmas jerseys, the lot. As I say,
I'm going to have to wear a Santa hat, aren't I?
Yes, you are. Failure to do so will result in Nick forcing one upon you. So yes, the Bees are back at home in 2 weeks' time when they face the Peterborough Phantoms. Here, it's 6:30 on the Saturday night. Like I say, Christmas games, Christmas puns. Yes, you're both allowed to do it because I'm going to be getting as many quotes from Die Hard in as I can. It's my yearly tradition. Also, if you're going, the reason why it's 2 weeks to the next home game, the Bees are on a Scottish tour next weekend. Saturday and Sunday up in Dumfries to take on the Solway Sharks. Yours truly is on co-coms. So let's hope this cold clears up by then because, my God, this has been rough tonight. Well, everyone, thanks for joining us here tonight. We hope you enjoyed yourselves. Sorry about the game. We'll see you in 2 weeks, everyone. Good night.
Good night.